welcome to Doors and Corners, a sci-fi and fantasy film commentary podcast. I'm Brian.
And I'm Zach. And every Friday we sit down and watch a science fiction or fantasy film and give our 2 cents on its quality, production, story, and trivia.
We watch the film together, but without sounds or visuals provided to avoid copyright issues. But if you do have access, we encourage you to join us and follow along.
Here, we like to keep things casual, and there may be discussions of spoilers or sensitive materials or language. But we do try and keep things clean and family-friendly. Ultimately, the goal of this podcast is to create the experience of us all sitting down and watching this movie together.
So get ready to hit that play button, because we're about to get started.
Damn Doors and Corners, I mean, that's where they get you.
Welcome back to Doors and Corners. I'm Brian.
I'm Zach.
And tonight,
You know what, Brian?
we're finishing something. What do I know?
We're finishing Lord of the Rings. We're finally going to be finishing Lord of the Rings. It's been 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Yeah, this
Of
is
Lord
a
of the
lot of Lord of
Rings.
the Rings.
This is a lot of Lord of the Rings. This is 11 hours and 46 minutes worth of Lord of the Rings. And we've watched all of it, and we've seen all of it. And it was great.
It's been good though, man. Because you'd mentioned at the very beginning that you'd been a few years, right? You'd kind of overdone
Yes.
it earlier and had kind of taken a little time. So has it been fun to revisit it?
It has been. I was actually really excited to get to finishing the movie. I was like, yes, it's such a good ending. And a lot of people who know me, I have made this gripe so many times. I've had so much trouble in recent years getting into books, TV shows, movie series, because it seems like anything I get invested in, the ending is such a letdown. You're not going to have a Lord of the Rings or an Avengers Endgame all the time,
No.
right? But I still feel like there's so many shows. Game of Thrones is the most common example. I'm not a proponent of Game of Thrones myself, but that's the most common example of you feel betrayed by the ending of a show.
Yeah.
And there's so many TV shows and other movie series that have not ended well, and I just don't even want to start a TV show because I don't know if the energy I'm putting into it is going to pay off at the end of the show. So I find myself going back and watching shows that I know that I've seen the end of and like Star Trek Deep Space Nine or Person of Interest. And this movie has just that perfect ending. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, this is the satisfying ending. This is the conclusion. This is the climax. Let's go.
Yeah, it's interesting because this movie, and infamously has many, it's a very, very long kind of epilogue section. And I remember being kind of surprised that we ended on Sam's door and not, the ship sailing out of the harbor. Because, the ship sailing out of the harbor is this big epic shot, right? And it's, just very, it's grand. But I love that it ends on Sam. It really just, I know we're jumping right to the end here, but I love that kind of peaceful ending, and they end on the Hobbit theme, the Shire theme, and just that simple flute melody. It's such a, because ultimately it ends on what they were fighting to preserve in a way, and I always just thought that was a really sweet way, but also a very poignant way to kind of wrap up. And it also reinforces the fact that, again, Sam is such a crucial character to the story. And as much as Frodo is kind of the main character, I mean, him and Aragorn, you could kind of argue either one, I guess. But Sam, we've talked about this more than once, kind of the true hero of the story, the most heroic person of the tale.
Well, that's what Tolkien himself has said, is that Sam is the true hero of the whole story. And you can see that because Tolkien didn't sit there and plan out everything in Lord of the Rings. I'm sure that he had some stuff planned ahead, but he just kind of wrote it, which is not how authors are supposed to do things. But he was the godfather of it, so he's going to do it his way. And
who's going to go back and be like,
it,
Tolkien, you wrote that wrong. Like, dude, it's Tolkien. Move on.
Yeah. There's this whole thing that's referred to as discovery writing, where as you're writing and creating a story, because you can outline as much as you want, but when you're actually putting words on paper, sometimes it forms a life of its own, and it goes in directions that you didn't necessarily plan, but it just moves that way out of necessity because of what's come before, the character you've created. How would they react in this situation? Well, they'd react like this. How would they do this? And suddenly it's very different from what you originally had, and often better than your original plan.
Well, that's a sign of good character writing, right? Because if you're writing good characters, they will, and you're writing a story that has a well-told story with good characters will have a natural flow that kind of it almost takes on as it goes. Like, I mean, to a certain extent, that's the sign of something good.
Mm-hmm. But as Tolkien was doing that, he found that Sam was his favorite character. Sam was the heroic one. It wasn't just Frodo's long gestating like battle of willpower with the ring. It was also Sam's heroics. And so that's why the book itself ends in the same exact place that the movie ends, with Sam coming home to his family and saying, "I'm back."
Yeah.
But we should jump into this because it's a long one.
It's so good. Oh yeah, yeah. I would love to actually launch into a whole discussion about endings, but that would be the entire podcast. So maybe some other time. At least we did not have somehow Palpatine has returned. Sorry, I had to say. I just had to throw it out there. Oh man. To me, that is forever now.
Cat retching so far.
That really will, for me, kind of forever be the gold standard of how to not end something.
And it's so funny that line is just so terrible because it's delivered by one of my all-time favorite actors in the form of...
He's a fantastic actor.
Oscar Isaac.
He's such a good actor. That movie is full of good actors. Oh, and they could not save it.
You know, there's actually a slight crossover in the form of Dominic Monaghan, who pops up as a random exposition character in Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, gosh.
That
I
just
forgot about
means
that.
nothing. They only brought him in because they're like, let's bring in a Lord of the Rings guy. Anyway, are you ready for the cast? Are you ready for the details?
Yeah, let's give a quick refresh before we hit play here on the second half.
Quick refresh, like hell.
All right,
This
you can
is
do the whole
finale.
thing. Well, but
Lord of
we're
the
also
Rings,
going to
The
sit
Return
here
of the King.
and we're going to watch. We are going to watch the credits with the Alan Lee paintings. I'm just saying it right now. We're going to watch those.
Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King from 2003, PG-13. This version is not 3 hours and 21 minutes. Oh, goodness gracious, no. We are actually going to be starting at 2 hours and 24 minutes from the ending. So almost exactly 2 hours into the movie. And, of course, this was directed by Peter Jackson, written by Fran Walsh, Philippa Boyens, and Peter Jackson, based on the works of J.R.R. Tolkien. And we have the cast. We have Elijah Wood, Sean Astin, Carl Urban, Ian McKellen, Andy Serkis, Liv Tyler, Viggo Mortensen, John Noble, Sean Bean, Orlando Bloom, Dominic Monaghan, Billy Boyd, Hugo Weaving, Bernard Hill, Miranda Otto, John Rhys Davies, Christopher Lee, David Wenham, Kate Blanchett, Ian Holm, and Lawrence McCorry. Of course, I say that even though Christopher Lee and Sean Bean aren't in this half of the movie that we're watching. Oopsie daisies.
I think you forgot one. Really
Brad
important
Dourif?
one.
I did?
You didn't say Andy Serkis.
I said Andy Serkis.
No, you didn't. Did you say Andy Serkis?
He would have been the fifth one I said.
Okay. Wow, you were going
I had
so
to look
fast.
at a list. I couldn't just memorize the cast on this one.
You know, I honestly thought you might have had that off the top of your head. Anyway, no, I'm sorry. I genuinely wow, I'm sorry, man. All right. I also have like Andy Serkis in my brain because I've been listening to him read the books. Really good, by the way.
Yeah.
All right.
Really good.
So yes, as Zach said, we are starting this right where the old intermission used to be. If you're watching this on DVD and or Blu-ray, is right at like an hour and 58 and change into it. It's basically right after the dead king swears that he's gonna help. You know, he's gonna fulfill his oath, and we are starting right as these siege towers are being pushed by the trolls towards Minas Tirith. Gonna hit that play button in 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey. Ah, yes, the Battle of the Pelennor Fields, which is very brown.
It's very brown.
The original
This is brown and gray.
The original descriptions in the book is that they were like kind of rolling green fields, and like covered in farmland. Not exactly something that'd be easy to do and would look really bad with the technology that they had at the time. so they decided to make it just kind of like a real field they were able to photograph. Most of it is, however, soundstage when actually filming.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, just one of
it's
those things.
controlling the environment would have been important here. But here
Yeah.
we've got
And
to.
it's-
This is the same mocap guy as the Witch Queen, right? Witch King, I mean. Sorry.
Yes, more than that. This is Lawrence McQuarrie. This character, Gothmog, is meant to be kind of a Sauron adjacent form. You see him missing fingers, you see that his eye has been slashed, very much like what Sauron would physically appear as. And he's the same actor who mocapped the Witch King, and he was the same actor who was Lurtz, the head Uruk-hai, in the in the first movie, and he was several different orcs in the the Two Towers.
I love this guy behind him with like the head on his helmet. He just like,
Right?
it's got some
It's
character.
such a weird little thing.
This is like, yeah.
Yeah, this is dark. What we're seeing here, people, is the catapulting of the prisoners of Gondor's severed heads, which was an actual tactic that people used, and it was even a tactic that was used at a battle in Western China that some people think may have caused the original outbreak of the Black Plague that eventually led into Europe in the 1300s.
That messed with history just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
It's a great
but
shot
yeah,
here.
They would throw diseased corpses over the walls, and they have sieged cities, and it caused problems indeed. I love the aesthetic of the orcs and everything. It's so good for this movie, and having the different creatures there, such as the trolls, I think it's great. And old computer physics work.
Oh
It's
yeah.
not bad, but you can tell.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can tell. I love that he's immediately like pissed at Theoden, like here, like he's like,
It's just looking at everybody but himself.
yeah. Now see, that was okay, yeah, computer physics there. You can tell when it's practical, and it's not bad. I mean, for painted foam rocks, looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh my
Well,
gosh,
they
I
even
love
built
this.
some. Oh yeah,
Just
great moment. Flee and fear for your lives.
No, just-
Whack, whack.
somebody got Grandpa angry.
Yeah. Apparently, he recorded that line like 50 times before, and they had to decide among them which is the ones that they really wanted. But they actually did build some stone walls that they shot with like an air cannon and other rocks in order to get the crumble look properly. But not a lot of those shots actually made it into the final production.
I
because
do
it was
love
really
these
difficult to
trebuchets.
morph them in.
They just
Oh
look-
yeah, well
I mean,
trebuchets are incredible.
they look amazing.
I mean, you could throw a car like half a mile with a proper trebuchet, whereas the orcs are using just kind of basic catapults. It's like the difference between it's like the difference between a single firing bolt action and an M16. It really is.
I love that they were able to again. I mean, this is real medieval technology that they weren't morons back then. I mean, they did figure some cool stuff out. Yeah,
Yeah, they figured some real cool stuff out.
I love where they really show too just the flinging of the the fabric that's holding the old chunks of the city. It just looks cool. This little moment with the troll, it's just funny.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
this part I love. They based this scene
Such a good shot
off
of Minas
of
Tirith.
like dive bombing strafing runs from like World War II planes.
Yeah.
They wanted that feel. They even mentioned it being slightly inspired by of all movies, Pearl Harbor from 2001.
Hey, Pearl Harbor, for all the problems with the story, the actual like battle sequence is phenomenally well done in that movie.
Really good.
Yeah,
Even
like,
with that awful World War II just started line. God,
yeah,
makes me
I mean,
angry just thinking about
well,
it.
again, you don't go to a Michael Bay movie for the dialogue. You do go
Yeah,
to
this-
watch things blow up in spectacular fashion.
So in the books, it talks about how these winged beasts, just these nasty creatures, their screeches cause like panic attacks and overwhelming fear, and we get to see that right here as the soldiers are like, "Ah!" as they hear the shrieks. It's not just loud; it's terrifying.
Oh, just imagine being one of those guys who just got picked up. Ooh,
Right? You're just like, well, this is a long way to die.
Yeah.
And they do really well with Pippin here and showing like how ineffective he is and how scared he is, and I don't know, it puts you in it
Oh yeah,
in a really good way.
well, it gives him
Because
an
it
amazing...
doesn't dwell on it, you
Yeah.
know, which is something that I think is important. Um, and again, this battle is so there's some gratuity later, but this section of it is so tight because it's only been like 5 minutes, right? And we're seeing all this stuff. We've seen panic, we've seen fear, we've seen tactics, we've seen cool shots. Um, you're in it, and you're also seeing like the tactics. Aim for the trolls. Go for the sides of the things. On the sides of the towers and stuff. I don't know. It's so good, and there hasn't been anything like it. Not even Game of Thrones could come even close to this level of cool and slick and emotionally effective.
Yeah. Well, I think you do have the combination of just like they've sold you on the scale of it. There's also just the emotional investment here, like, a Pippin being involved, Gandalf. He gets this cool action sequence here. He's fighting with his staff and his sword. Interesting. They never say the name in this movie because he still would have. Well, no. What if he still had Glamdring?
I don't remember if he still had Glamdring after his fall.
Yeah.
I'd have to look that up. But his sword is named Glamdring, which was an elven-made sword,
Yeah,
and it glowed blue in the presence of orcs. But they left that out because apparently it made it look way too much like a lightsaber.
Yeah. I can see that.
I have seen people editing this movie so that they're all carrying lightsabers all the time, and it's actually really fun.
Yeah. But no, they do a good job here too. The other thing too about this battle, which I appreciate, is you rarely, not perfectly, but you rarely lose track of what's going on and where you are, because it's a big battle like this is very difficult to kind of keep it kinetic and energetic, but also help the audience know what's going on and when it's happening. They do the same thing in Helm's Deep. Helm's Deep, you other than the magic, like they're back in the Citadel. How did that happen? But
right,
they really did a good job in this one also. Although time is a little bit like, I feel like it's not that it's
lucky.
You're like, wait a minute, how much time has gone by? Because this battle, this would have been a long battle.
Yeah, it lasted a couple days, I think, and they have it a couple days in here as well.
Yeah, which would have been appropriate for this type of battle in this setting. I mean, these kind of battles were not decided in an hour or two.
So this battering ram they bring up, Grond. I genuinely thought that Grond was a rat. Apparently, it's supposed to be a wolf.
Here's Peter
Here
Jackson.
we have a cameo by Peter Jackson.
Oh yeah, he's got his little. These were the Corsairs, I believe, right?
This was in the extended edition only, right?
I do not remember. I know that they showed them in the theatrical, I think, earlier, briefly, when they're doing like kind of a, what do you call it?
Yeah, a little like context shot.
It's so mean. Yeah, when Peter Jackson kills himself.
Right? Just like, so you're going to make a cameo in the movie? Heck yeah, what are you going to do? I'm going to die.
I mean...
but yeah, this was in the extended edition only, and you could tell because the special effects are a little bit wonkier.
Yeah, the water line is very rough underneath the boat.
Yeah. They set up that whole thing just to have his little dramatic one-liner. One of the weaker parts of the movie, if I'm being honest, but it's cool.
This is where, I mean, as much as Pelennor Fields is, pretty epic, and there's definitely some amazing points in it, I actually think it's a little, I don't know, to me, it's almost overshadowed by this happening at the same time. Because I think that this is shot really well. Shelob's lair is just very creepy. When we start getting into it, and you just have that great moment where Sam comes in, and just the fight with Shelob, I think is really good.
Mm-hmm. The fight. So Shelob's lair. My dad talked up Shelob's lair growing up so much. Like, oh, it's so scary, and it is if you're like really into it. As a kid, I had a little bit of trouble reading just the verbiage. I was a little under the reading level, and so it didn't have the same effect on me. But one of the things about it is it's just like they have to use sting to cut through her web because it's so strong, but also it smells so bad in there. It reeks. They don't want to go forward. And they actually have a scene where Sam and Frodo have to stop and vomit because it smells so bad.
Yeah.
It's also filled with like this dark fog. And that's one of the it's the evil that comes off of Shelob, because Shelob is quite literally the daughter of one of the most powerful and horrifically evil beings in all of Middle Earth, a giant spider named Ungoliant, whose bite was so venomous and evil that it killed one of the shining world trees over in Old Numenor, or Valinor. And it's like it's crazy epic lore to it.
Yeah. Well, and this is too where I think just this moment. This is where I do think Elijah Wood really nails just the desperation, the realizing he made a mistake, and they did a good job. You hear he looks so ragged. They got just the right amount of kind of. He's definitely looking thinner, and just got that little bit of the sweat on. He looks like a man who is in a bad spot here, and realizing that he had what a mistake he'd made. I don't. You have a lot of sympathy for them. I guess I feel like they do a really good job here of both the actors and the directing and everything. Just this just
this scared me when I was falling down those stairs. Like, ugh.
And I mean those stairs,
falling down endless stairs. It's a different kind of scary.
Yeah. Well, and going back down those stairs would absolutely be more dangerous than going up them. As anybody who has climbed up something versus down something could attest. I mean, I've been on some insane rivers in my life, and going up is always better than going back down.
Yeah. Dude. So it's so funny. Giant spiders are like a mainstay of fantasy.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna play Dungeons and Dragons. You're gonna play just any fantasy video game. Hogwarts Legacy was particularly known for this. This is gonna be giant spiders, and almost all of it can be traced back to J.R. Tolkien getting bitten by a spider as a kid and hating them ever since. Well, because he then goes on to write in the giant spiders in The Hobbit, and most notably Shelob.
I mean, what is the one thing worse than a spider? A giant spider.
A giant spider.
A giant spider.
Yeah, giant spiders, giant snakes, those kind of inherently evil things. And then this reveal, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it looks like a skull back there, and you just see the little twitch. Oh, it's so good. And it's so awful. A lot of people apparently envisioned her as a tarantula, but they made her a New Zealand funnel web spider, which honestly I think is perfect.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they could do a better design for this. Like, maybe a wolf spider, but even still.
Yeah, I
don't even like looking at her.
I know some people who have severe arachnophobia who love Lord of the Rings just love it, and just cannot watch this.
No, absolutely not. I don't think my wife would be able to stand this one. Dude, have you ever, like, the description in the book is so creepy because she is a complete entity unto her own. It actually, like, specifies in the book that, like, how Shelob came to be there no tale tells. But she was there. Uh, but still, she was there, who was there before Sauron, before the first stones of the Tower of Barad-dûr, and she served none but herself, drinking the blood of elves and men, bloated and fat with endless brooding on her feasts, weaving her webs in shadow, for all living things were her food, and her vomit was darkness. Like, what a creepy thing.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. And it's just such a horrible scene.
Well, just they also
You
get
talk
like
about
just
something. I'm just gonna wax Exotic more.
no, you're fine. I mean, I'm just watching this too. Peter Jackson must have just been so excited because he he came from the horror time, right? the horror genre, and getting to shoot that. I mean, I'm sure he must have just loved the set dressing and the getting that all set. Although I think that Frodo comes a little clean here, a little too clean all of a sudden here.
Well, I would actually say that there's a decent reason for that. It's the elven cloak.
Mm.
But one of the things to note about this, okay? I think the elven cloak would allow the stuff to fall off pretty quickly. But one of the things that I want to highlight is that Peter Jackson is a self-described severe arachnophobe, to the point of where one of the things that he removed completely when they were going to be doing just the 2 movies was Shelob. He was determined to create the spider. According to the commentaries, he was determined to create the spider that would scare him the most, and he always kept that in mind. He had trouble, like, committing to the visualization of these scenes. He actually had to have other people come in and really look at it closely because he didn't want to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to look at this spider so closely.
Yeah.
The facial work on Gollum in that scene, though.
Oh, it was so good. Mm-hmm. Ooh, I do love that the delivery of that line and just kind of what that line really entails, though. Just that, I have to destroy it for both our sakes.
Yeah,
it's just
that moment. It wasn't in the book, but I mean, the line was. But him throwing Gollum down a crevasse was not in the books, and I like it in here, this additional scene, because it makes a bunch of people think that that's the end of Gollum. Because Gollum is removed from the story until the very end. And I think that it's just such a good and effective scene.
It really is.
To throw the audience off track.
Well, it also, yeah, I think it kind of keeps things a little bit clean. Because I think it would have been very difficult to try to keep, if they had tried to adapt it in a way where they kept Gollum, with them further. It just, and obviously, the way they adapted this with Frodo realizing that Gollum, kind of tricked them and Sam coming back. I mean, it's, again, obviously this is not the way it went down in the books, but it is a very effective way of doing it. And I do love the little. I mean, I'm usually not a big fan of kind of the. Gosh, I'm sorry if this will trigger you a little bit. I almost feel like that was almost like an anime moment there. Kind of the. I just had like like a vision that just like, spurred me on and got me back onto my feet.
You are preaching to the choir. I hate that shit. Okay, this one I liked. This one never bothered me. Okay, but you go watch. I love the play and the music for Wicked, right? And I liked the movies. But the first one, the very end of it, the very middle of the climax of Defying Gravity, and they have this just total sidebar of her like falling down a tower, and she sees a reflection of her childhood self, and you're hearing lines from the earlier in the movie, and it goes on for so stinking long, and it's just a stupid anime moment that ruins the entire climax of the movie for me, and I hate it to death. And I hate that kind of thing because it's so forced. But man,
my kids.
This one was okay.
Well, it was short and it's like kind of a one-off thing where they literally had him kind of like she pulls him up, but he's just standing up and kind of just trickery there a little bit. No, but my kids have heard me rant quite a little bit about this because they've gotten me more into anime, and I've seen some that I like, but there's definitely one of the tropes of just the visions and or memories or whatever you want to call it that just kind of they're like plot salvation for the main characters as they, how many times do they have to like dig deep over and over and over again, or have some moment with the past self or a mentor or whatever where they visualize it for half the freaking battle, and it's just it annoys me too very much.
No, it annoys the crap out of me. This one I don't mind because I honestly always thought that it was like her connecting to him, given that he just used the light of Elendil.
Yeah.
I thought that it wasn't just him having an anime moment of speaking to this mentor and everything. It was actually her watching him because she has, I'm not going to say omnipotence, but she has a great insight with her magic.
Yeah,
and I would imagine that she would know, especially since the light of Elendil had just been used, that he's in a place where he might need her to reach out to him. So I think that it's actually in story. It's not just Frodo needs an anime moment.
Yeah. No, I agree. So
also, I wanted to go back really fast for your sake. Okay, here's a little piece of trivia that I don't think you know. Glamdring, Gandalf's sword, which he does reclaim after he becomes Gandalf the White. Glamdring is the Elvish word for foe hammer.
Nice.
Does that sound familiar to you?
I mean, I think of the pilot in Halo when I think foe hammer.
The pilot in Halo, Echo 419, foe hammer. It was named after Glamdring.
Nice. Oh, that's a cool little. I didn't realize that was a direct reference to Lord of the Rings, but I'm very yeah. We were talking about a Halo adaptation the other week, and foe hammer would have been a great character to use in Halo 1 if you're adapting it. But this
right.
I like that we've transitioned to night. It's a nice subtle way of kind of just reminding people some time's gone on. I love the physics of that battering ram that literally you have to like roll it in, and then kind of the it's like on a pendulum almost, where the trolls have to pull it back. I thought that was all kind of fun. Mm-hmm. There's I don't know how you would combat that, because I mean, unless you're able to. So what's the like the big massive like industrial sized crossbows that like fire bolts, like big old like ballistas? Yeah, you need some of those to take down those trolls. Like that's what Minas Tirith needed to fight that thing, because I'm guessing.
They put all of their stat points into Trebuchet.
Into Trebuchet.
They put all their research points into Trebuchet.
If only they had hired some dwarves to do a little reinforcement work on their front gate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
might have helped.
So funny little trivia actually. It's gone over in the appendices of Lord of the Rings that Sauron had another army that marched north and laid siege to the rebuilt Lake Town and Lonely Mountain in order to prevent the men of Lake Town, the dwarves of the Lonely Mountain, and the elves of Mirkwood from sending reinforcements to Gondor. It was an army primarily of Easterlings.
Nice.
Which are the elephant people.
Yeah.
For those who don't know.
Yeah. Now this would suck.
The armored trolls.
Yeah, you like whatever comes through those gates. Armored trolls.
Maybe not.
That's
also. If you ever played the Return of the King video game, this battle sucked.
Yes. I thought about that many times.
Hard one. That courtyard with those trolls, you're just playing as Gandalf at first.
Yeah.
And it's a tough battle. These trolls do kind of go down like bitches, though, in comparison to the cave troll.
They do. I mean, you figure though, there's a lot more soldiers there than I think is visible. In those shots. I mean, there would have been hundreds of them, right?
Yeah,
a lot of arrows.
There would have been quite a lot.
Yeah. Now this.
Because Spider, she moves so quietly. You're expecting to hear like clicking and clacking and padding, like what you get in most horror or fantasy or something. These big bugs, they make clicky noises. No, she's quiet. She's silent. She's stealthy. And then she has a +5 in stealth.
Yeah, and the size of this stinger is just like, oh man.
Now you have to take into account that Frodo's a hobbit, so in comparison, she's the size of an SUV, right?
Yeah.
To us, she'd be about the size of like a Volkswagen Bug, which is still terrifying.
Yeah.
But you take that into account. It'd be like being attacked by a John Deere lawnmower with 8 legs.
Okay, I feel bad because I always found Elijah Wood's facial expression doing that. I mean, and I get it. Like if somebody asked me to like act out this exact moment, close up on my face, I'm sure I would look a little silly also.
You
But-
try not to look like you're having an orgasm like Elijah Wood.
Yeah, it just like I love that it's Frodo that Sam got Sting as he was coming through
Yeah.
also because Frodo had dropped it earlier.
Yeah.
I-
Now,
again, you're
one thing
thinking
I will
of the
note,
Lord of the
that
Rings.
scene with Frodo.
Go ahead.
He bit 2 Alka-Seltzers that he had hidden in his mouth for the foam.
Oh yeah, it makes sense.
Ah.
This is another fight in the Lord of the Rings, the Return of the King Xbox game that I played a lot of. It was like, this is an obnoxious fight as Sam.
I don't know. I found it really challenging. I liked it.
Oh no, I liked it.
but-
It was I liked that whole game. I just remember this one gave me I had to a few tries to figure out the right patterns and everything.
Oh
Ooh,
my
man.
gosh. Okay. Did you play Shadow of War, Lord of the Rings, or Middle Earth Shadow of War? Did you happen to play that at all?
Just a little bit. I didn't get past the intro really.
Really good game mechanically, great combat, but Shelob is a main character in it. They make her have a human form or an elf form. A lot of fantasy will have it so that dragons will have like an alternate human form or mortal form. And they do that for Shelob, and they make her a hot elf who is Sauron's girlfriend. It's
that's-
so dumb.
Ooh.
Like, the game itself is good, but it's absolute trash fan fiction in terms of writing.
Yeah. Oh man. This is like, can you imagine how terrifying this would be for Sam?
Right?
Ooh.
There it is.
Got the
there it
goop.
is. Yeah, the goo is really gross.
Yeah.
But
I love-
it's from the book, and they specifically use the wounds from the book, which is him stabbing her in the eye and darkening her great black eye, and then slicing her across the belly, and she slinks off. I'm trying to remember exactly how he phrased it. That it's something like he can hear her after retreating, bubbling in her misery.
Oh man. It's just like they do not. Yeah, but I mean, so whatever makeup job they did to Elijah Wood is really good there, and he genuinely looks pretty comatose
So
there.
it's not just the makeup, because they were talking about this scene like day of filming, and they're like, well, we'll need to put some tracking dots or something around your eyes because we're gonna need to digitally replace them so that it looks like you're not blinking. And he's just like, oh no, I can hold my eyes open for a really long time. And they're like, you sure? He's like, yeah. They didn't have to do anything to it. He just kept his eyes open.
Yeah, he did a good job.
Also, this scene was the scene that they used for the finalists for the audition of Samwise Gamgee. This
my-
is the scene that they had to act out in
Oh,
order to get the
goodness.
part. Yeah.
And I mean, I think Sean Astin. I see you get that little blue. It's nice.
Mm.
And Sean Astin
Yeah,
really
Sean
does
Astin's
a
amazing.
great job in this sequence.
Shagrat, which is... I didn't even think about this. Okay, this orc's name, including in the book, is Shagrat. Which, coming from J.R.R. Tolkien, like, shag rat. And that shag is a euphemism in the United Kingdom
Yes.
for sex. So, freaking Tolkien is just like, I'm gonna have an orc, and his name is X with rats.
Oh, again, this whatever actor this is playing this orc too, man, he does a great job because he's just extra.
Just the
like,
facial expressions.
yeah,
Limp as a boned fish. Yeah, great.
I mean, I remember seeing a lot of the
Overacting.
behind the scenes stuff that so many of the actors playing the orcs just had a heck of a good time. That they were just,
Yeah.
Just hamming it up, having a good time. Just they were very into it, which is I think it shows. It shows that they're having fun.
Now, right here, we have to note, with this scene, the end of that scene, we have now cleared all of the information that was in the book, The Two Towers. We've now officially moved past the narrative of the Two Towers,
Oh my gosh.
and it's 2/3 of the way into the third movie.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
and the way it lines up, had the Battle of Pelennor Field, sorry, I haven't gotten that far again, and I'm trying to remember. Has the Battle of Pelennor Fields even started in the book?
No, they spend like a week crossing the fields of Mordor. And during that week is when the Pelennor Fields and everything happen.
Yeah. I thought so. It's
Yeah.
just, like I said, I'll be there in another week, but I have not read Return of the King in a few years. And my
Okay.
adult brain no longer holds information like it used to, which is frustrating, to say the least.
Okay, so Denethor's coat, okay? He has this flowing robe that looks like it should be worn by the depressed wife of an industrialist in a 1930s movie. Okay?
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah,
it's this
yeah.
big, flowing, grand fur coat. And all I can think about is some black and white 30s movie where they go to see the widow of a murdered industrialist and she's wearing that coat or something like that, you know?
The
Yeah.
I do wish that they had a tiny bit better. I mean, I get that they kind of got to keep this thing moving, but that Minas Tirith had multiple levels, and each level inside the city was kind of another defensible layer. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
like they show this one shot. I forget if it's here in a minute or two, where like a troll basically just kind of like two taps like one of the big doors. And the layout of the
Yeah,
city
yeah.
was much more defendable. I mean, it would have taken days to get through this whole city.
Yeah.
And
There's an orc that they show twice in here that has red and black patches and horns on it and stuff, and is a direct reference to Darth Maul.
really, I didn't know that.
Yeah. They had a little Darth Maul orc. Better make Faramir alive. Oh, this is a scene that was deleted. Or extended for the extended edition. And I love it. It really sets up the power and the threat of the Witch King.
It's yeah,
Man.
my hour.
And like
That's
they
a
have
great
that
line.
power magic sword. But also it has this scene where he breaks Gandalf's staff. And suddenly Gandalf doesn't have his staff for the rest of the movie.
Oh, just love how like Pippin is just completely
Yeah.
immobilized. It's just, I mean, definitely one of those like, coincident moments where you get the Horn of Rohan all of a sudden, just in the last second, just perfect timing type of thing.
Oh, I love it so much though. I have a video saved on my phone, okay? That is of this scene of Rohan coming into the battle. Pretty much from this moment. But playing over it is the audio recording that they have of J.R.R. Tolkien reading the scene from the book, giving it all of his own inflections and everything. And it is just like spine tingling, because this moment is spine tingling enough.
Yeah.
But to have Tolkien himself reading it aloud is insane.
I didn't know that. Okay, you need to send me a link or let me see that somehow, because I've never seen that, and that sounds amazing.
Yeah. No, it is a hell of a thing.
But I do love too that the a heavy cavalry charge like this was terrifying. Like these, and they do it right where they just keep riding. These horses were trained to just plow over everything in front of them. And they really kind of let the tactic play out in a way where you don't see that in a lot of movies, I feel like.
So this speech, parts of it are in the book, but the whole thing together is kind of a conglomeration of a couple different parts. And actually his declaration of death that everybody repeats is actually Aylmer gives that charge after the death of Theoden. It's the suicide run of the Rohirrim against the oncoming Easterlings after the death of Theoden. Because they actually give Éomer some time, if I recall correctly, to get into his head, and he thinks that Éowyn is dead. Because he found her and she was so badly injured after the encounter with the Witch King, and he sees that Theoden is dead, and he's like, "Well, I'm gonna be dead too, and death's gonna have to earn me."
Mm-hmm.
And he takes the entire company on a suicide charge that they don't die from.
Yeah. Oh, this is just like one of those.
Yeah, this is the battle scene. This is, I think, the peak battle moment of this entire movie. As much as I love a lot of the other things that happen, this is the best part of the movie.
Okay.
The music, like the practical, like the amount of practical assets that they used.
Well, they had a lot of horse riders, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like they have these, massive, which I say massive with a capital M. It's the program that they were using for the multiplication of individual sprites. But they still have so many actual people doing actual things. And they even have a guy on the left-hand side of the screen coming up here as they hit that fell off of his horse and was dragged by it. Oof. He was okay. He was injured, but he didn't die. But they actually incorporated into the scene of them hitting the line, and he gets dragged off of his horse by an orc. But that was actually a guy going down on accident.
I love the orcs start kind of like when they get closer, and it's like, okay, this is gonna suck. Well, and like, just like the sheer, momentum, and yeah, right there that way, these orcs.
Yeah,
man,
and that one moment of Éomer like throwing his spear like that, he was really proud of that moment. Karl Urban.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is the scene where one of the guys falls off his horse. Yeah, they're in the back. It was just
Whoops.
there. In the unextended edition, the original version, this is the last you see of that orc. The kind of Sauron-esque orc.
Yeah.
It's the last you see of him. And that's where you kind of assume he died. But he, of course, comes back later in the extended edition.
Yeah.
Now you talk about things. I'm just rambling.
No, you're fine. Yeah, I like this. See, the problem is I like listening to you talk also. That's why we do this together. Man, John Noble. He's just like...
Oh, I love John Noble.
Just the way... His face. He has just this, like, his eyes. He acts with his face is capable of...
Dude, he acts emoting with his whole body.
Well, yeah, he does. But you know what I mean? Like he just has this ability to... Just the way he scowls in his mouth and his eyes and...
Dude, you have got to go watch Fringe. Because there's a character in there, they call him Walternate. He's an alternate reality version of John Noble's character in that Walter. And he's terrifying when he gets mad. And it's the same type of thing. I love John Noble so much. Yeah. But I love that they give Pippin this great heroic moment because
we're just thinking the same thing.
It was Gandalf who pulled him off. Pulled him off. It was Gandalf who pulled him from the fire in the book. Don't quote me on that. But I love that they give it to Pippin and they really have him showing his bravery. He was gonna cold charge the Witch King earlier,
Yeah. Shadowfang's just get in there.
Apparently had a lot of trouble with the horse doing that scene. Kind of a weak wig moment here, but
yeah,
I don't care. And this is the part that everybody knows is bullshit, but nobody cares
because he runs this far
on fire.
Man, Gandalf looks like he's had a day here. Man, the eye makeup is
He's just he just ran a quarter mile to suicide off the open lip of Minas Tirith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that we've come lighting, it's gotten lighter, I feel like almost. Like we've been fighting for a while again here.
Well, they had a thing there where there was almost like a day break because there's an unnatural atmosphere,
Right,
literal
because
atmosphere
that's right.
for
Well,
the
because they
orcs, and it's almost like the coming of Rohan
yeah.
pushed back the darkness a little
Well,
bit.
and the Rohan army was supposed to arrive at dawn, right, and attack at dawn.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it's interesting because they didn't do, they didn't keep with the idea. I mean, they do have it a little bit, the dark clouds coming off Mordor back there, but that to kind of let the orcs fight, that they actually had created their own weather to kind of let Minas Tirith be completely covered in shadow.
No, they actually directly addressed it because they had the scene of Gandalf and Pippin on the balcony as Minas Morgul's sending up the signal,
Yeah.
and it's creating darkness, and he's just like, orcs don't travel in sunlight.
Yeah, but there's still a decent amount of sun in these scenes.
Because it's hope, dude. The Rohan brings the light with them because they're all hopeful and shit.
These elephants, especially again for the CG of the time, these things look pretty darn good.
Oh yeah, it looks so stinking good. I don't care if there's like occasional moments of PS4 graphics here. It's like it's the music. Let's be honest. It's the music and the
music's huge.
sound effects. That's one of the things that I've been noticing about like video games and things like that. They have some amazing moments in them, but the inconsistency in moments in music and sound mixing is what takes me out of it. And where movies can look like this, but the sound effects, sound mixing, and music is so consistent that I don't care.
Yeah.
Like replaying Mass Effect and stuff like that, like the music's really good, but it's not properly integrated. But you go play something like God of War Ragnarok on PS5, the music is so well integrated and sound effects are so well integrated, it's like playing a movie.
Yeah, I want to start defending Mass Effect, but that's not the good discussion we need to have right now. Because I probably listen to those soundtracks more than any other game soundtracks, other than maybe.
Absolutely. They're so good, but they're just like you watching the cutscenes at the end of Mass Effect 3, and the music and the sound effects aren't quite properly integrated into everything. This guy's just like, I fire one arrow into the belly.
This like one guy, this writer, his face paint is so great.
Yeah.
Gets the ear.
I just like,
Little
poor elephant.
Aw.
He's not going to forget that. Because an elephant never forgets. But like, this is one of those things that wasn't in the book, right? Of like the big, long, spiky wire rope hanging between the tusks. But it makes a lot of sense.
It does.
For an Oliphant like this to have that. And I really like that.
Well, especially if you're, I think this is where you get some practicality in of just, I love the sheer amount of arrows sticking out of these elephants at times.
Yeah.
The practicality of if you're going to outfit these things for war, there's some stuff like that just makes sense.
What do you think of the kind of boss kill moment that Eowyn just got there with like hitting the legs?
I mean, I think it was cool to give her a moment before the Witch King. Sorry, the Witch Queen was an expansion for Destiny too. This is the Witch King.
Yeah.
Look out, that would hurt.
Because I always liked the idea, but I felt like she should have something bigger, like an axe.
Yeah,
I feel like
that
it wouldn't have
just
gone down without embedding an axe. Did she just get the right tendons?
I think it's meant to be a combination of courage and a little bit of luck, if that makes sense. That she manages, that she has the right idea and she gets kind of lucky. That they had in just that moment of like, wait a minute, I think I know who that might be.
I know her. This stuff with Mary is extended. They give him a kill count. He went through like 6 guys just now.
I love that. Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, I'm just like a dangerous little hobbit. I'm gonna climb right up you and just
like thank you. Yeah, here we go. Here's Gothamog again. So they give her 3 big kills. Wait, no, because she just hamstrings him and then he shows up later with Mary, I think. But they give him a villain arc,
So yeah, right here, the fact that it's just a troll with a hammer.
Like, but it is setting up what you're thinking. They have these checkpoints. They have these posts.
Yeah.
So they're not quite doing it as well as they could, but
Well,
they
I think
showing that,
yeah, they are showing it. I do love this moment, by the way. I do love the
Yeah.
what I would call it. I think in one of the behind the scenes they called it almost like the death theme or the theme music that plays here. It's just this is a beautiful piece of music, and just the dialogue here is so good.
Well, the dialogue is taken right out of the book. This
Yep.
is the descriptions that they use for the Undying Lands that everybody goes to at the end. And they take this same dialogue and the same musical theme, and they turn it into the song at the end, that won Best Original Song at the Oscars.
Yeah. But this, I mean, and Ian McKellen is he just knocks this out of the park, and Billy Boyd, just the reactions to him is so good. I think what's just their eyes, Billy Boyd, he's just getting that, that bit of hope, and there's I think it really hits the deep theme also of just you cannot divorce Lord of the Rings from spiritual belief, and how much that meant to J.R.R. Tolkien. But it's just a great it's just a great moment there. I like that they let you breathe for a second there, because you do. Even the best battle sequence ever made, if it goes on too long, does get tiring and actually does start to lose its impact. So the fact they gave it just a little bit of a breather there. And then, of course, you come right back to this, which is just...
heavy.
Yeah, and Bernard Hill just nails this, too.
Yeah, and the makeup and everything. Also getting crushed by a horse...
Ooh.
That'll kill you.
Yeah.
What do you think of bleeding right now?
What do you think of her killing the Nazgul, though? Though I mean, it seems almost too. It always felt very easy to me.
Well, one of the things is that the whole prophecy that he wouldn't be killed by a mortal man wasn't even real. It was in there, but it wasn't real. Tolkien actually. I don't remember what writing it was in, but it was like a misinterpretation. But the Witch King himself kind of believed it. And so he let his guard down almost. And it's his arrogance that gets him killed as much as it is Eowyn's courage.
And actually I don't have a problem with the Witch Queen. Why do I keep saying that? I am losing it, man. The Witch King, I don't mind that. I just mean that how easily
we associate witches with women.
Yeah, that's
warlocks
also true.
With men.
But the ease at which it's not her killing him doesn't bother me. It's how easily she took out the Nazgul himself, the worm,
the winged beast.
The winged beast.
That's what they're referring to.
That it was just like a quick I turn and then two hacks. I literally severed its head with 3 swings. I thought it was very easy.
Take that up with Tolkien.
Yeah, it's fine. And again, I don't know how you would have an extended realistic fight with one of those things, but it's just great.
I feel you would have had to pepper it with some arrows first or something. Have a couple people do it. I was honestly wondering if they were gonna have it be a tag team effort between Theoden, Éowyn, and Éomer. And then, Theoden gets killed, Éomer gets knocked to the side, and then Éowyn takes it home. I actually had this, if they're making a movie, I bet they're going to do it like this, to make it more of a dual thing and have more characters involved. But they didn't. They pretty much adapted the book in a lot of ways. One of the things it goes into is that him being stabbed by Merry with an elven blade weakened him a lot. And in that weakness, she was able to strike him.
To the face.
To the face. Okay, I guess that they're referred to as Nazgul birds, hellhawks, fell beasts, black wings, and winged creatures.
I love the counting as they go. It's fun.
Yeah.
I almost feel like they're letting the tone shift here. So because you have you still have this kind of desperation happening here. Yeah, that's right, because he's still alive.
There's Scott Mug.
But you do let the the levity back into the battle here. You know, the Army of the Dead's here. Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli are here. They're counting again. Like, I think this is where the audience is being allowed to know, like, everything's gonna be fine now, and we need.
This is where the fun begins.
This is where you can all relax. Aragorn's here, right?
But that's also why some of this fight here was removed. This whole thing with Gothmog chasing Eowyn was removed. And so, this is the death of Gothmog by the king, which was, definitely not unintentional. But all that was removed, and they pretty much just jumped straight to Legolas's, like, epic moment.
Oh, yeah.
His big... let's really give him a second to show off. What do you think of this?
I mean, it's like both silly and I love it.
Yeah. It's like the silliest moment of the whole series. But
this guy's like, wait a minute, let's go. It is. And that's where, like, it's, and I think that's where, too, the tone has shifted.
Wilhelm scream.
Yep. Where we're just having a good time at this point. Like, the heroes are here. Everything's going to work out now. And,
I feel like this is the moment that they were trying to replicate through the entire movies. All 3 of the Hobbit movies were trying to replicate this feeling, and it was to their great detraction.
Well, and it's because the Hobbit is not that kind of movie. It's not that kind of story. Ooh, I do. As much as it's like been memed, I still just love the. It still only counts as one.
Still only counts as one. Yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, just these. Having Aragorn just going ham is a pretty great moment because they...
In the background.
I always loved in the back.
Yeah.
That swarming is really good.
Going through Tirith, yeah.
Aragorn doesn't get a big, grand, epic fight moment.
No.
In this. And he has, like, good moments, but he doesn't get that flexing because they remove it. And I'll talk about that a little bit more when we get to the Battle of the Black Gate.
This scene, I just thought this was so well done by both actors, and this is like a total like theater moment too, as far as what I was saying. So theater, it worked well in the theater, but like a stage moment. I could totally see this as like all of a sudden it feels like a play again, right? Just 2 actors just having a good death scene together.
That's a good way to put it.
I mean, there is something. My mom, who's acted many times, she said, "Oh, death scene is like one of your favorites." Like, she's like, any actor worth their salt wants to do like an epic death scene because it's just one of the most fun. It's cliched, but it's also just you look forward to it because
too brutal.
Yeah, there's something about dying on stage that's just a lot of fun to do. She said that and playing a villain are like the 2 things that are on like the bucket list of every actor that she knows.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's hard not to. And the fact that like he of course went on and did more acting. But this was like his last really big thing.
Yeah.
And he was so good. And it is really, it's a genuine loss that Bernard Hill, I'm talking about, passed away. He was old. He lived a good, long life. But, man, he was just so good, Everything I saw him in, he was always impressive. And everything I saw him in, he dies.
Oh, he and Sean Bean they can start a club.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I was this was something that actually is interesting to read about in history, but like cleaning up battlefields afterwards, that was that was a task.
Sometimes they just didn't.
Just let it rot. So this is where I wish they had explained it a little bit better. Because Gimli does say it, but I wish it had just been more clear why that the oath was specifically for this, not just that. I don't know. It's just I wish they had
Yeah.
had just like one or two more lines of dialogue.
Mm.
So that
No, I agree.
Mostly so that people would just shut up about it, because I hate seeing YouTube shorts that are like little gotchas. Like, can you imagine if they had just, it's like, no, it's not
They
that
couldn't
simple.
have done it. Then Aragorn would be an Oathbreaker,
Yeah.
and he would be cursed. Yeah. I remember that Eomer's scream here in a second, was like part of the trailer, and I remember my dad going like, "Oh, I know what scene that is."
Yeah. Pippin finding Mary's cloak is a great little touch.
Yeah.
Yeah. The scream.
Yeah. This
Well, and
right here, this scene
yeah.
of him right here.
Carl Urban is
Such good acting on
solid
Carl
actor,
Urban's
yeah.
part. Like the physical acting. He was into that, and he looked a mess.
Yeah. It's interesting. I mean, and I kind of love the fact that it's for Eowyn and not Theoden. Not that Theoden wouldn't have, elicited a response, obviously, but he definitely would have reacted more emotionally to her, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
You get to
She wasn't even supposed
all
to
the
be
House of the
there,
Healing
you
stuff
know?
is in the extended, right? I don't think any of this was in the
Yes.
theatrical.
No. Yeah, I don't remember if it was like broken, but it implied that the wounds she sustained from the Witch King were kind of like Frodo's, in the way that there was a certain amount of permanence to it.
Yeah.
And it was not going to be a good time for her pretty much ever.
I also appreciate that the extended edition kind of bring back a little bit, because the books are full of it, where Aragorn has a decent amount of healing knowledge, and he is a healer also. He's not just a warrior. That happens after Weathertop, and it happens. There's the moment after they get out of Moria, and Frodo has taken just the massive blunt force, to the to the chest by the troll, and in the books there's a whole scene where Aragorn patches him up and helps him, and and this brings back a little bit of that too, which I like.
Yeah.
There you go.
Just, I love that they include this, just like, because this wasn't in the original. Just like these two immediately are like, "Hi, how are you?" She's like, "Hi, how are you?"
Well, you'll do.
Yeah. Yeah, because they get married and she becomes known as like the Lady of Ithilien, because Faramir is made lord of like everything between Osgiliath and Mordor. Like that whole area becomes his domain. Yeah. It's pretty good.
Just a weird,
But I also
filter
love
they-
the implication. Yeah. Oh yeah, it is a day for night. It is a day for night shot.
Yeah.
Because they wanted it to look like he was searching for Mary for hours, which is why they had the scene with him finding the cloak in the daylight, and he's been just searching the battlefield ever since until he found it.
Be a lot of corpses out there.
Mm-hmm. And so they did a little day for night, which makes a little weird filter.
Yeah.
And this is the welcome to the first chapter of The Return of the King, the book.
Yeah, we're 3 hours in. It's about time. We are gonna speed run this part of Frodo and Sam's journey.
Yes, this is the Tower of Cirith Ungol, and this is where they strip him down. They don't find the ring, but they do take his mithril shirt, which ends up being important later.
Oh yeah. I mean this.
Off the shiny shirt.
I mean they've established it is quite valuable. No, they
Right?
I feel like if you weren't paying attention, I know several people that the first time they saw this, they did not catch that Sam had the ring.
Oh.
I don't know why. It was
they
like,
don't show him taking it off. Oh, do they show him taking him off?
it's very, very minor. It happens fast.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Now,
this
one
whole
of the
thing.
things.
It's just it's interesting, kind of like the comedy almost that happens on this.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the way this, that they almost play this.
funnier.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's funnier in the book, to be honest, because Sam, unlike in the movies, putting on the ring isn't an immediate beacon to Sauron. He starts to feel it after a minute and starts to search for you. But in the book, Sam puts on the ring. The Uruk-hai and the goblins start going at it, and but Sam is invisible, just an invisible little murder machine.
It's
And
great. I love it.
they become convinced
Oh.
that there is a great elven warrior
And then Sam.
working his way through, and they're just like, it's one of like the men of Gondor. It's one of the elves coming to kill us all, and it's Sam. And they have a vague allusion to it, with like his shadow in that scene coming up here in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I think they still managed to get a little bit of just the humor that he shows up and most of them are already dead, all because of the shirt, and just the
Right,
fact
and-
that just the ripple effecting of fighting. I mean,
I love that
it's-
scene of the one orc beating the other one with a big leg of lamb.
yeah. Well, then like the big like stone bowling ball, it like squishes. Oh, right there, you got Sting glowing a little bit.
Yeah.
And yeah, the shadow
And
here.
you got this like, they're all like, oh no, this is great warrior, we have to run away. And it's just like, nope, it's a dwarf. Not even a dwarf, stop it.
It's to say they wouldn't have any idea what hobbits even were, would they?
No,
But
probably
Sam
not.
has it definitely. You know, he's come along.
Yeah.
Oh, my old gaffer.
But and another thing that they keep bringing up through this thing is the frickin' shirt. Not shirt. The pots and pans. They're jingling the entire time that he's going through this thing, and he like. I think that it does describe him actually hitting somebody with a frying pan.
That's awesome. That would be a heck of a climb.
I can't remember though. That might have just been. Yeah, those old towers are no joke.
It'd be winded.
So one thing I want to talk about. I thought that it was a scar from Shelob's stinger, right there on the left side of his chest. It's not. If you look at the scars and marks on him, it's where the ring would rest on his chest while he's sleeping.
Oh, love that Sting going through. Just
Mm-hmm.
because he's got the Weathertop scar up in his shoulder, like by his collarbone.
Mhm.
And then, yeah,
And then he has the scars around his neck. But then there's this like burn scar
yeah,
on
from
the
ring.
left side of his chest there. I thought that it was Shelob, but it's too high for Shelob's stinger.
Yeah, yeah, but you can, yeah, where the chain and the ring have just been sitting on him.
Yeah. That's dark, isn't it? This is a pretty good scene. I like
is.
this. This is, it's got that ominous hum, but there's that question of like, is Sam going to be corrupted by the ring?
And I like, so this is where, because of everything that's going to happen, they give it the tiny bit of hesitation that Sam has here. But I was so happy that they didn't try to turn this into like more drama, like that they give it just enough moment to kind of like, all right, there's some weight to this because the ring is still the freaking ring. But then they let it resolve here, and then there's Sam is like, he's okay, and Frodo, the way that he's just like, this is my burden, and they move on together. It's just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm glad that they decided to not continue on with the Sam and Frodo drama. That it's resolved. Let's go. Because I think if they had tried to keep a little melodrama going between the two of them, it would have been to the severe detriment of this movie.
Agreed. Very much agreed.
Yeah, basically, I want to go running around naked.
Mhm. This is a situation that happened.
Oh, yeah.
And they covered a little bit more. Also, I'd like you to notice that Sam still has his pots and pans.
Oh yeah, he's not going to give those up. And
Yeah.
he still got his seasoning packet, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Little box of seasoning. I love that they gave the freaking beak to both of them. Just like of all the
Just these ridiculous moments.
it looks so just yeah.
It looks a little silly.
It does. I do think it's. I mean, I know that they're trying to visualize, Sauron. He can sense the ring is close and that kind of stuff. But I almost, I don't know. I don't know how else you would have done it. But I don't love the idea that you can see like his like, it's like a video game searchlight on the ground that you have to like avoid kind of a thing,
Yeah.
And again, like I'm
Yeah.
not sure how else you would do it because it's a hard thing to visual. It's easy to write, but it's hard to just show in a film. But it's just I've played too many video games where you hide from the spotlight, and it just makes me think of it every time.
I mean, that wasn't a new thing even at this time. So I genuinely wonder if that was something that they took. They're like, what if we used a video game mechanic?
Well, I mean, and there's been obviously plenty of films where you're trying to avoid searchlights, and that that's a real thing in war, especially in guarded areas. But the idea that the eye casts like this very real, visible, light on the ground, like later on when they're like getting further in and they're literally like hiding from it behind a rock. It's like, all right.
Yeah, that is a little odd.
Considering that
Because
Sauron's not looking for it like in the physical plane, so to speak. I mean, obviously he wants it physically, but he's seeing more than just the physical plane. It's not like a rock is like, going to keep him from seeing something.
yeah, especially since there's this notion of Peter Jackson having kind of made up the flaming eye thing. Well, not the flaming eye. People see Sauron as a flaming eye, but like the eye sitting at the top of the tower looking around like that,
Yeah, I mean, because obviously he was described, the eye came from the book, but the idea of the eye sitting on top of the tower like that, that this has definitely been memed a few times. What are we waiting for?
Well, it was the trailer line. Like I just took Denethor's seat. Like, I'm the steward and I'm gonna smoke here. This is pretty good.
Yeah, the whole just because I mean that's his throne up there, but also just the Palantir and
him kind of facing his fear in dealing with Sauron and like making Sauron afraid of him.
Is this a weird?
It's a good exchange.
Yeah. Is this a weird thing to say too? Viggo Mortensen, he has like cool looking hands. He has like a very manly hand. It's like just got enough kind of knobbiness to it to look like a very weathered hand, but it looks strong. I don't know. Does that?
Yeah.
It looks
no,
good.
I'm with you there. Like he just is this embodiment of. The best way I ever heard it was of all people, freaking Caravan of Garbage. And they sit there. I listen to like all these different commentators and stuff talking about this, but they summed it up perfectly in that when Aragorn steps in the room, he's the guy that you want in any type of trouble. You're in trouble. If Aragorn shows up, you're like, I know things are going to be okay. That's the vibe that Viggo Mortensen is able to instill in this character.
Oh, yeah.
And I really like that. Do you think they should have had like a bigger moment of him like being, hey, Gondor, I'm your dude. Want to go somewhere?
I think
it seems like kind of quick.
It is a little bit fast. I mean, I think that's where you already have a long movie. And, with Denethor dead and I don't know, I feel like you could have had like some kind of, I think because Faramir is the only other authority figure that they've kind of established, and he's in the hospital, so to speak. If you had a chance to establish some other authority figure in Minas Tirith that Gandalf had interacted with, and maybe it had a moment to like use that to say like Gandalf saying like this is Aragorn, and had a whole just you had a little moment there, but because I think it would have been clunky to try to have like introduce Aragorn to like the army type of thing, and they didn't have another character to do it with that would have meant anything. So they were kind of, I don't know.
They were trying to set up a character at one point. I think that they might have filmed some more scenes that they decided not to include in the extended edition, possibly. But there's a character in the books by the name of Imrahil. And he was He was called Prince Imrahil, and he was a noble in Gondor. And if you look him up, the picture that comes up is actually the blonde-haired dude that was like Denethor's aide earlier in the movie. And Imrahil was a major part. He's actually the one who was leading some of the defense of Gondor. I want to say he was the one who like found Éowyn and brought her to Éomer because he was confused as to why there was a girl in the battle. And so he had like a major role, and I think they could have used that character to be people being like, Lord Imrahil, Fireman's in the hospital. Denethor's dead. Who's in charge here? What's going on? And he'd be like, oh, blah, 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 stammer, stammer, stammer. And then Gandalf steps in and she's like, perhaps you should seek counsel from the heir of Elendil. And there's Aragorn. But yeah, that's just a theory of mine that I have.
All right.
Anyway, how are you?
No, that's right. I always I get that they're trying to adapt real things that came in the book. I've always felt that Sam and Frodo being in with the orcs is the way it's shot. It just maybe because it's so rushed, it just feels clunky.
Yeah, and most of it wasn't in the original release.
Yeah, and it's just I think it's just the idea that that nobody noticed. I mean, this guy looks cool for sure. Like, I mean, cool makeup job, the eyes and
noseless guy.
Yeah. And this guy, the guy inspecting him. And I do like
one of the things that I will say.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go.
No, you go.
One of the things I'll say is that the video games, Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor and its sequel Shadow of War, and the use of the Nemesis system and the procedurally generated orcs, they use a lot of these designs and give the orcs a lot of character, and I really like it. It looks really good. And so I kind of love seeing the orcs in all these scenes.
Yeah. The old start a fight trick.
Yep. It's just taking all bets.
I mean, this little sequence, I would have been, I don't, it's fine. It's not like it ruins anything, but I don't think you needed this. I don't think you needed this in the way that they were adapting this.
Mm-hmm.
And just the idea of like, they just kind of slip out really easily and we move on. Like, never mind.
Yeah.
Other than just, I think that they needed to add a little drama to them getting, out. It's just, it's like a weird 5-minute diversion. Like, all right, so we walked down, we almost got discovered, and now we're on. So like, it's a tiny little, because they're streamlining this so heavily.
Mm-hmm.
That, anyway, sorry. I know I'm repeating myself now, so.
No, you're fine. Because you're exactly right. This was like 2 chapters of the book of them sneaking through Mordor with these orcs, and they learned some of the orcs' names, and there were other little conflicts, and they had to find a way to sneak away, and they were under suspicion, and there was a whole thing to it. But entirely unnecessary. Well, so having the little moments of peril here, and I get why they had it in the extended editions, but there was no use for it in the actual release, right?
Yeah, it's one of those that if you can't do it justice, it's just like just don't even worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
But and I thought, like, how would you? Because pacing suffers already in extended cuts. As much as I love them, it does suffer. And if you put in another half an hour, like if you made this movie a half an hour longer.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Imagine if they kept the scouring of the Shire.
Yeah, you would not want to walk around in this armor.
No.
He finally loses his pots and pans.
There's that scene with him Yep, he threw out the pots and pans. It was a big moment in the book. Same with this. Okay, so my dad listened to the one that you're listening to with Andy Serkis, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he really liked it, but he remembered this moment from the book, much like obviously Peter Jackson did. There's this moment where Sam looks up and he sees this star coming through the thing, and it's like this great, beautiful moment. It's this incredibly beautiful narration. But in an audiobook, it's just kind of glanced over like it's nothing special. It's just a part that's read and you move on.
Hmm.
Where in the book, it's like this breath of fresh air, and it's like really beautiful, um, beatific description.
I'll have to let you know
And
what I think when I get there.
yeah, I really like that they incorporated it that way.
This would be a pretty quick march.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that far.
Yeah, because the Black Gate is from Minas Tirith. The Black Gate's actually kind of like north and then east, right? If memory serves.
Yes, that's correct. North and east. They'd kind of have to like make an L shape. They'd have to cross over at Osgiliath probably, and then move north up the river. And I always hated how he drinks this thing. Like, come on, man, you're just wasting water now.
Yeah, come on. You gotta like seal your lips around that thing, man. Don't let any drops get out.
Yeah. The Black Gate is a great little bigature.
Yeah. For Sam here to kind of, like I said, getting rid of the pots and pans and actually saying this. Just, yep.
Mm. Like, this is the part where they don't think they're coming back,
Yeah.
It's the end.
Interesting here, I just noticed this, and I'm sure I noticed it before, but I didn't think about it, that Sam is still wearing Sting, not Frodo. I don't know why, I just noticed that, and I was like, I wonder if that means something.
I've never noticed that, actually.
Yeah, when they get up there, Frodo doesn't have anything attached to him, and yeah, see right here, you can see it?
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. I mean,
Dude,
it might be
Frodo,
as simple as, Sam's the only person that would have any chance of using it effectively at this point. Frodo's so on the edge.
Frodo is methed out.
He's in a bad way.
Methed up.
Man, look at his neck. The way he falls here is like so. It's just kind of like this weird kind of back collapse thing that he does.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty.
Like kind of turns and like, hey, what is that? Oh,
it's weird for sure.
It's just funny. And that somehow Sauron like is like, wait a minute, what did I see?
Like, okay.
Did I see something? Maybe. I'm not sure.
Like, yeah, it was probably just a rat, I guess.
Now they completely cut out the speaker here, right? The dude with the crazy teeth.
The Mouth of Sauron, which we've watched a movie with this actor just earlier this year. He was in Star Wars Episode 3, The Revenge of the Sith, just 2 years after this.
Oh, that's right. He was the tall-headed guy, right, with the weird gray skin thing.
Yeah, he was in Utapawan. And he's actually a character actor that's shown up in several different things. His name is Bruce Spence. And I remember him because they adapted a book series that at the time I liked. Rereading it now, I don't like it pretty much at all. But they made this TV show that was very much in the same vein as like Xena, called Legend of the Seeker. And he played this old wizard named Zed. And he was the best part of the show. Great actor, hilarious to watch. He was the Train Man in the Matrix movies.
Oh, that's right.
Do you remember the Train Man?
Yep. Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
But they completely removed this character, the Mouth of Sauron, and they really emphasize his mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This guy's dentist must be just nerves of steel, man.
Right?
Man, you got just that, like, the liquid in there, just like, oh, man. I feel like there has to be a tiny bit of CG work done.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. There's no way that's purely a prosthetic.
I don't know. You should see this guy's mouth. I think there is some manipulation for sure, but bleh.
Because he almost doesn't have lips, It's like at least it almost doesn't have like a top lip, the way it like pulls back. You know what I mean?
Again, look at the guy.
Yes. Yeah.
The Mouth of Sauron is actually one of the final bad guys in the Shadow of Mordor game, and it's a really disappointing ending.
I do love that Aragorn's just like, nope.
Yeah. which doesn't happen in the book. In the book, he just kind of f's off back into Mordor. But
Oh.
I like this version better.
Oh yeah.
It kind of gives Aragorn that little bit of little character moment, and also explains why when he's given the speech here in a minute that his blade is covered in blood.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it in the theatrical? It just jumps like, what? Why is his sword bloody?
Aragorn
I
is
love
just like,
Aragorn's armor also.
oh yeah, he looks good.
Yeah.
Just the kind of, I'm just gonna walk next to you and just just a clean lop.
Lop. Did you know that the extended edition, even though being officially rated PG-13, was if put through the board again, would have been rated R
I
for
believe
the
that.
amount of like extra violence that they added?
Oh, Sauron is distracted officially.
I'm just like, what did I miss? Um, yeah, let's see here. There was a messenger of Mordor that arrived at the Lonely Mountain at one time. A horseman of the night who offered the dwarves an alliance with Sauron the Great. He asked only in return that the dwarves share what they knew about the creature Baggins from Shire and to help in tracking down the One Ring. The messenger described as the least of the rings, a trifle. Blah, blah, blah. But the mouth of Sauron may have popped up throughout the lore, essentially. And in some of the notes that Tolkien left behind, he named the character Mordu. And that he was a living man who entered the service of the Dark Lord after being captured by the forces of darkness in his youth. His cunning nature eventually caused him to earn Sauron's favor, but eventually he threw this out. Yeah. You can talk about the Men of the West speech. It's a good one.
Oh no, I was just say this is. I mean, my wife will find ways to work in, but it is not this day. To so many things. I mean, we have used, but it is not this day, to being out of butter. I mean, just like
Right.
the silliest little things, but just and you immediately know what you're referencing, right? When you just drop in, but it is not this day.
No.
And I mean, it is genuinely epic and amazing, and Vigo does a great job with it. And at the same time,
Especially with
you
that
can so
theme.
easily just have a little fun with it.
Yeah, I remember that some radio host used it as the entrance to his radio show. It was like some political thing that my parents would listen to sometimes, and because it was about, I think it was a conservative radio show, so naturally the whole Men of the West. Now, this scene that was actually very important to me personally. When I was in 4th grade or 5th grade, they had a little oral presentation. They made every single person pick something that they had to
The music
dramatically give. And I actually chose a scene from The Lord of the Rings that was a description of the Battle of the Black Gate. And I actually won the entire 5th grade class for the oral presentation that was the recitation of that scene. And I'll always remember it to this day. It was great. So whenever I see that scene, I get this just little like flashback of memory to reading that out again.
This whole
Merry and Pippin weren't actually at this battle; they added them, but I'm glad they did.
yeah. I love Aramir's just like, all right, we're doing this, huh? This is like the worst tactical position you could possibly find your way.
The book, they were on the frickin'
Yeah.
what do you call it? They were on 2 hills. They were on a beleaguered hill, I think it was.
Yeah, it's
It was called.
Tolkien never would have written it where like, yeah, they just walk out in the flat ground and let themselves get surrounded, and just
Right.
on the hope that they like last long enough for Frodo to get up there. That's a stupid idea.
Yeah.
Oh man. This
it's
is
funny
though. Go ahead.
Tolkien kind of leaves a cliffhanger a little bit because the Blackgate opening and the armies surrounding the hill is when the Aragorn chapters end, and it jumps to the Sam and Frodo chapters after the Tower of Cirith Ungol. And you're following Frodo and Sam all the way up through to Mount Doom, and only after the ring falls does it pick up at the fields of Cormellan, which is what the battle is called there.
Yeah. He just was like, I'm just going to talk about these people for a while.
Yeah, it's like, let's give you guys a little bit of a wait here.
I really do love again, this is where this movie straddles the line between cheesy and like epic really, really well. Because there's little bits of this that are like, they're just right on that knife's edge, right? Of just being like, you would have to literally just change the music and this could be a parody.
Mm-hmm.
But it just
No,
is
it's very true.
But they pull it off. They really do. And part of it's the actors, but so much of it, like you were saying, is the music. They earlier when they had the music come in, it was just that single kind of clear like a flute that was just like kind of carrying the theme. And then here when Sam's little speech here and Sean Astin's delivery and just the music swells and it's just like you just want to be like, hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Now, another thing, because a lot of people thought that it was just really cheesy, but
I loved it.
And it is, but here's one of the things about storytelling. The cheesiness, the earnestness in Sam as he says that, you believe it because it's earned it.
Yeah.
Because that character, that this isn't just a moment where they're being cheesy and epic. Sam has spent 3 movies earning that scene alone. And so you believe it because the actor has done well and the writing has done well and the direction has done well through the whole rest of the movie. So any other movie, that would be such a cheesy line and music and everything. And it does have an element of cheese, but it's a cheese that you love.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it's right out of the book.
Yeah.
I didn't actually know that. I'd read the book, but at the same time, some things just kind of, they pass you by. But that cheesy ass line was in the book. Also, the extended edition makes for Frodo makes sense.
Yeah.
Because with the delivery of the shirt, they think Frodo's dead. These guys are charging with the knowledge in their brains that Frodo's dead and the mission's lost. It's only this faith that Aragorn says. He does not believe it. He dares not. Yeah. Is the reason that they're continuing to fight as if there is hope. Because right now, technically, they're just feeling hopelessness.
Yeah. And that's most of the cuts. I get it. I get it if you're trying to make the pacing better and everything, but there are a couple where I'm like, I don't quite understand. That would, and then this would have been, for anybody that's not familiar with the book. Oh man. Ow.
It really makes these impacts feel kind of like hurtful.
Yeah. Oh man. Gollum looks like just scary.
Yeah.
But again, yeah, you're right. Unless you had read the book and understood what was going to happen here at the end, that was it's kind of a big like, oh, Gollum's back all of a sudden.
Yeah. You're like, oh crap! I thought he went down a hole. You go lied. Like that's the moment when you understand this is no longer a redemption story. This is a villain story when it comes to Smeagol.
Ooh.
And
love that.
Oh, that's a kill shot.
Yeah, a hobbit throwing a rock is a dangerous thing.
Yeah. Like everything about this is well crafted.
Yeah.
Even if there's you can complain about the dated technology, fine. But in terms of earning the panic that you still feel a little bit, especially if you're watching it the first time. Okay. Here is where they do Aragorn kind of a disservice. Did you know that they actually have Sauron return in the flesh? In almost all the way up towards time of release, Sauron was going to appear as a warrior in the final battle at the Black Gate.
I'm so glad they didn't do that.
I get why you say that.
Yeah.
But it was going to be Aragorn's Return of the King moment. And instead, they have him fight a troll.
Yeah, I mean, and I understand what you're saying. If it had been anything but Sauron, I would have been fine with it. I like the ego showing up. The
But
'cause
like
I
an
do think
incomplete version of Sauron, a depowered version. Like this is him rubbing it in as the end of mankind by stepping out of his tower for the first time, underpowered, but mirroring the scene from the very beginning
yeah.
of the first movie.
Yeah, I mean
And I
I
kind of like the idea better, to be honest.
then just
It doesn't
Aragorn
me
fighting a
think.
troll.
Yeah, like you'll show it in a couple minutes because Aragorn does kind of get his ass kicked.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Um,
he does not fare well against that troll.
but it makes more sense that it's like it was supposed to be Sauron,
Yeah.
instead of
Yeah.
just I don't know why I'm Mickey Mouse all of a sudden, but I don't. It bothered me. There's the image.
Oh yeah.
Like that is the Return of the King image.
Well, and they
like
did such a good job on just like, you know,
makeup
the
and the
makeup.
lighting.
His wig looks amazing here. Just like everything about this shot
Mhm.
looks good. The lava
I
even
don't even know
looks.
if it was a wig at this point.
Elijah Wood just
I'm
grew
not
out
even
his hair.
joking. I know that he grew his hair out.
Yeah.
Like because I'm fairly certain that's actually Sean Astin's hair.
Hmm. Oh,
Um,
just let it go.
this moment, dude. Like all three of the movies lead to right here, and this is a moment when you suddenly understand it's all going bad. I
Yeah.
remember watching this in the theater, and there was this one girl next to me. I don't know who she was. She was like down a little bit, and you just hear her go, "No, no, 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 no." I'll always remember that.
The ring is
Or
mine.
watching it with your sister-in-law, Erin. Even years later, she already seen it, but every time she'd be like, "No, don't do it."
Oh.
It's such a good like villain moment, even though it's like you don't.
Well,
It's
then
like, no,
Elijah Wood
right
looks
here at
like
the end.
creepy there for sure.
Yeah. As
All
the
of a sudden,
anime
Sauron's
people
like,
say,
"Wait a minute,
he's
wait,
going
what?"
through his villain arc. He's like, "Wait, how did it get over there, guys? You're failing at your job.
Yeah.
Everybody's fired."
Just be like, "Wait a minute." Oh, shifting
Yeah.
strategy all of a sudden. They love the little footprints. Oh,
Yeah.
Gollum's back.
Dude, creepy Gollum. Now you can see some of the reaction shots of the battle there at the Black Gate that's alluding to them looking at something insane and impressive, and it's not just orcs. It's like it's supposed to be frickin' Sauron. Like, it's heavily edited, but they were gonna have this whole big confrontation between Aragorn and Sauron, and they chopped it up together. It wasn't just like what we see is a 1-to-1 and it would have just been Sauron. That'd be a great disservice to what they wanted to do. Ugh.
Oh, you
So
know what?
gross.
I was so glad that they kept this. That they kept that is like what happens.
That brutality.
Yeah, just like the finger, just
Mm.
oh, and then they show it like this.
Yeah.
This shot
it's
though,
brutal.
right here. That
Oof,
like the
that's
through the
one.
ring shot. That's another just
Yeah.
fantastic shot.
They. This is all very book accurate, up until the moment Frodo jumps in. That's not. It was literally like Gollum
Yeah.
bites the finger off. Frodo's curled up on the ground, and Gollum's just celebrating and celebrating and celebrating, and trips and falls
Yeah.
and into the lava.
I mean,
Like,
I do understand when you're adapting it. You're like, we probably should do like something else. Although
Yeah.
with the bloody mess that is Frodo's hand in a second here, when Sam's like holding him, there's no way you would have been able to keep a grip on a hand that bloody and sweaty.
yeah, and it's supposed to be like a parallel of the moment at the end of the first one when Frodo grabs Sam's hand. I get that. It's stupid. But man, I love this right here.
This is a good. That one last moment of just like
This is
to
perfect.
his chest and just.
Mhm.
Oh
And like he gives up everything for the ring. Also, I love that the ring like sits here on this little mass,
Oh.
and you know it's coming, but you almost feel the ring feels like afraid. almost. And
Well,
I read into it too much, I'm sure. But still,
I mean, but would just either that, but also just that second of, where it just the writing comes up, and it just it takes a second, and then it just goes down.
And that question of like, is Frodo strong enough to want to survive?
Yeah. Well, so I was just about to say, I totally understand, and it makes sense that Frodo would just be like, I got it here. Just let me go. And Sam can like see it in his face, like, no, you do not get to give up on me, Just that.
Yeah. Which you need that sometimes.
Yeah.
This is a really good moment for people who have gone through really dark times.
Yeah.
I've heard people talk about it, as cheesy as that might sound. It's like they have cited that moment as just like something that speaks so deeply to their souls.
Yep.
And
they all run away, and the ground swallows them up, and everybody lives happily ever after. Troll just nopes out.
Yeah. A bunch of people on commentaries were just like, oh, how lucky was it that the crevices formed just enough to kill the orc armies and not the human armies? It's like, no, it's not freaking luck. It's magic.
Yeah.
You heartless bastards. They had to be really, really careful about how they designed the fall of Barad-dûr. One of the reasons why they added in the explosion that destroys most of it before it hits is because they didn't want it to look anything like the fall of the Twin Towers on 9/11.
It is a cool explosion.
They obsessed over it.
Yeah.
The angles from the low down and everything like that, they were really, really careful about it.
There is nothing that this theme doesn't make work better.
Yeah. Very good music. I love this. I love the shockwave. I love the explosion. No book reason for it to have happened that way, but man, does it look good.
No, it does. It's a very modern little bit of it, but it's fine. I don't mind it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, just the very perfect, like you said, all the orcs fall onto the ground. They're all perfectly fine.
It's just like, oh, how lucky that is. I think it's great. Yeah, I love it.
The Black Gate gets destroyed. Why not? It's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It looks so good.
It's a good shot.
And
then all of a sudden, though, here, this is where when they go back, I think it's Mary they go back to here in a second, where it's like, oh no.
Like, Frodo did it. Oh, Frodo dead. That'd be heartbreaking moment.
Yeah. I like that we ooh. You can tell a little bit CG-ish there on the lava.
Yeah, it's this
looks good.
Some of the rougher CG in the whole movie. But
that shot looks good though. That I mean, I'm assuming that they probably did, just like Revenge of the Sith, it was a mixture of CG and some practical, plating and lighting effects.
Oh yeah, they did some really cool practical stuff with fluids and chemicals.
Yeah,
and I think that Revenge of the Sith actually carried over some of the techniques that they used here.
Well, I know that a lot of the guys at Weta and ILM at the time, were communicating and kind of sharing stuff back and forth during this era.
Mm-hmm. Well, this movie put a lot of both pressure and a creative fire under George Lucas's ass for Revenge of the Sith, and it shows.
Oh yeah. For all the problems with Revenge of the Sith, it looks good.
But one of the things that was pointed out coming up here is that Gandalf knew that Gollum was with them because of Faramir's report. So at the end here, there's 3 eagles. Instead, it's not just one for each hobbit, but he actually sent an eagle to get Gollum.
Hmm.
And and that wasn't an accident. That was a specific thing that
I hadn't thought of
Peter Jackson mentioned.
That is,
and it's just supposed to be a little sad little tidbit.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that before. That is interesting. Aww.
I love it. What's Sam thinking of? Food and girls.
I mean, yeah.
I like it.
I mean, it's
I
this
relate to
this
Sam
is
the
such
most.
a real moment though too. I feel like, yeah, and just
Yeah.
and also just like, a little of a, a bro moment of just like, just glad I'm here with you, just
Yeah.
I don't know, it's sweet.
Best friends forever.
I mean, if you went through this, you probably would be, pretty tight for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the they were already bonded, but that's the kind of trauma bonding that doesn't go away.
And credits.
Yeah. I mean, you could almost
Well,
put the credit there.
Well, that was a long. That was like 3 seconds of black screen.
Yeah.
I do feel like Peter
That's
Jackson
for us to
definitely
people go,
had.
no way.
Yeah, he definitely had a little bit of like a. I'm gonna mess with the audience just for a second here.
Yeah, I love it. But yeah, it's Gandalf hanging out, and he's gonna pick a photo, and then the third one's like, "What? I made this whole flight for nothing?"
There's another one back there in the background. Oh no, that's a cloud. Never mind.
Yeah, that's a cloud.
Yeah.
Old man yells at cloud.
I do yell at clouds. They're weird looking, and they're watching me and they're listening to me. I swear. The government runs them.
No. Those
Anybody
are
listening?
birds.
I'm kidding.
Those are birds.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
now,
Couple epilogues here.
constantly everything's better.
Oh yeah.
Now, this is the first time that Frodo would learn that Gandalf survived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this would have
is
been
also
a little bit of catching up to do.
This would also be the most interaction that Frodo has with Legolas.
Well, I mean, Frodo, they journeyed for a while. They went all through Moria together, and
No, but like they never speak to each other. The only time there is any address between Legolas and Frodo in all of these movies is the "you have my bow," and Frodo looking at him and being excited that he's there in this scene. There's no other interaction between the two of them.
yeah. I mean,
Like,
you could imply
you get
though
moments
that
between
they did.
all of them,
Yeah.
except for Legolas and Frodo. I know,
Well,
it's great.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it never even occurred to me because I would have just implied that along the journey, through Moria and, and just that whole, going up, the pass and everything, that they had gotten to know each other a little bit.
Oh, heck yeah. And in the book, there's lots of interactions. But right here, like, this is the most personal interaction that they have.
Yeah.
Like, I just love it when you think about stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
Does Luke even know who Admiral Akbar is?
Oh gosh. Mary just like, oh man.
They're so excited. The clothes are a little girly. They look like choir boys.
They do look. You know what's funny? You know what went through my head right when I saw it? It looks like something that the original crew would wear in like the motion picture movies, like some kind of.
Oh god.
Like Kirk had on this like weird shirt in Search for Spock. They had kind of that cut. It's that weird like semi-futuristic loungewear.
I don't know. Like I said, this has quite like altar boy vibes to me.
Oh yeah. There's a little bit of that too. And you get everybody up on the top. The people in the very back, they're just like, man, this is the worst seat back here. I got nothing behind me. If there's like people back up too much, I'm just gonna get shoved right off the end of this thing.
The king farts. I'm pulling a Denethor over here.
Cool crown.
I love this crown.
Yeah.
Also, because the crown is described in the book is actually like kind of ugly, and then real crowns were also really kind of ugly. This is probably my favorite fantasy king crown. There's an elegance and a regalness to it without it being too over the top or realistic. It just looks so good.
Yeah, it looks good. I do like it.
Mm-hmm.
And just his armor looks good here too. Looks like it's heavy too. Like he's moving like it's just got a weight to it. But man, his chest piece Looks great. Their robe is pretty
I
epic.
think the weight is the cloak more than anything.
Yeah.
And the white tree has fully flowered now.
Yep.
I hope he can really project his voice. There's the
He's-
wind up there, man.
He's just trying to breathe. Trying to get a deep breath that chest plate on. And the male and the chest plate.
Yeah. And he looks a little fuller in face. I'm like, did he gain weight?
Aw.
Yeah, this is the two of them hanging out. They're standing weirdly close. And he's just
the
like
king
in a
just starts
burst of a
singing.
song. It's very Tolkien.
It is very. I mean, this
found
is
it.
the most Tolkien because Aragorn is the one who like he just sings twice in Fellowship of the Ring. He's like singing while they're in the swamps before Weathertop, and then here, Aragorn just likes to sing.
He's like, this is their little prayer, almost, Okay, in the scene coming up here, look at Hugo Weaving's face. All right. I like this because even though this movie does have a whole bunch of endings, it does give these characters moments to be acknowledged as like they're in a better place and they're like kings,
Yeah.
They give him a crown because he is a prince. He is royalty. Okay.
But I brought
should
you
be noted.
somebody, or yes, I mean,
I
yeah.
brought you a gift. Everybody's looking at Arwen, but look at Hugo Weaving's face. He's like, I can never unsee it. He's like right here. Look at this. It's like crying.
Oh.
But again,
I do-
he's
I
proud
like-
Papa and sad Papa.
Yeah. I like that they give this moment here where it's like kind of very formal and solemn, and then it's like,
He's not a very formal guy.
like no, never mind, come here.
Yeah.
We are. I'm just excited because I finally get you.
Yeah.
It's just, and it's done in a way that's like very kind of sweet and genuine. So I'm not trying to mock it like it's bad. I like it. I like that it's real and just.
He went in a little bit tongue first.
Yeah.
Fucking Elrond. It just doesn't fit for him to be smiling like that.
He has nicer hair
But,
than
yeah.
she does.
But no, this is a really good scene. It's
Well, this is
all of this just feels so earned.
Yeah.
I keep going back to that.
well, and this is the the end for Aragorn. Like we don't see him again after this sequence.
No?
This is kind of
This is the
his
end.
big finale.
Mhm.
Another just very quoted but great line. Just
Mhm.
my friends.
It
I love the way
means a
he says
little
my
bit.
friends. Just there's something about it. Just the delivery. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I love Vigo.
This I don't think he bowed to them in the books, but the "you bow to no one" was a scene. It was in a smaller setting than this, but there is that moment.
I love
Um,
Sam's look. He's just like, this
I
is
don't What do I do with my hands?
yeah. It's just the ultimate like, I don't know what everybody's staring at me. This is so awkward.
So Pippin actually was given a formal position by Gondor, and when he died, they took his body back to Minas Tirith, and he was interred among the kings of Minas Tirith.
Yeah, I remember that.
Merry, the same thing happened. He was buried in Rohan at Edoras,
Oh man.
and yeah. I thought that this was going to be the ending of the movie too.
Yeah, I mean, in the
Um,
theater there were at least 3 times I want to say where I genuinely expected there to be credits.
Yeah.
I do
But
wish
this
in
is
the
where it
wide
diverges.
shots. Go ahead. What?
This is the divergent right here.
Yeah.
This should have been the Scouring of the Shire. Like, the hobbits are oppressed by orcs and Saruman. It's war. Or it's not even war. They're just, the whole place is brown. There's a factory spewing smoke. Everyone's unhappy. Certain people have died, even. Like, the Sackville Bagginses, I believe, had died. Been killed. And Frodo just kind of sits back and watches as Sam, Merry, and Pippin just whip the hobbits into shape, start a rebellion, and kill Saruman and Wormtongue. And it's badass, to be
Oh, yeah.
honest. It is genuinely great. But I get why they removed it. This more solemn, happy ending is really good.
Yeah, it's just it does make for a tighter story. I think that would have been almost like narrative kind of whiplash on an audience if you tried to put that in a movie. You would have had to somehow telegraph it or rearrange things where you had the kind of finale with Aragorn becoming king and all that. Like, I don't know. You would have had to tweak it to make that work narratively in a film for, I'm hearing this in a certain YouTuber's voice, modern audiences. Anyways.
Yeah. Do you remember at the very beginning there was their friend Fatty Bulger?
Yeah.
Who was like the fifth Hobbit before Tolkien realized he only needed 4 and he got rid of Fatty Bulger?
Yep.
Because he was like a big part of that.
He stayed as a decoy where the Brandywine.
But they like find him. He'd been imprisoned because he tried to lead a rebellion.
Sam's finally gonna get to have kids.
This is so good. But yeah, all of them. Frodo's the only one who never married. Frodo remained a bachelor.
Yeah.
Merry, Pippin, and Sam all had big families, especially Sam. But immediately courting Rosie Cotton was like the first thing he did when he got back. He wasn't having no nonsense.
No, I mean, but I like the fact that then Sam would have come back. I mean, like you said, they all come back with a level of confidence that it makes sense given what they've just gone through. But also, it makes sense that Frodo would have just a weight on his soul that would be different than the rest of them. I mean, Sam, there's a tiny bit there, and the appendices get into it because, I mean, technically he was a ring bearer. Also, which does give him very special status. He ends up going west, right? At the end of his life.
The appendices end essentially like he's mayor of the Shire for like 50 years. And he has like great grandchildren and all this stuff. And after Rosie dies, when Rosie dies, he goes to his kids and he hands them the Red Book.
Yeah, that's right.
And gives him a couple of messages, and he is last seen riding west towards the Grey Havens and was never seen again. Which is just such a good ending.
Yeah. I've always heard that implied. Would you agree that Sam actually could have gone west as a ring bearer?
Oh, 100%. That's what he did.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, there's no doubt in anybody's mind. He found a boat and he sailed west. In fact,
and for Sam to get on a boat again, that'd be a big deal.
Yeah. The 3 hobbits, the 2 hobbits, Merry and Pippin, and Aragorn, all stayed in Middle-earth and eventually died.
Yeah.
The rest of them actually all sailed west, including Gimli. Gimli and Legolas never parted after this.
Yeah.
They had promised each other that they would go visit each other's families, and they did. Legolas went to the Iron Hills, to the east of the Lonely Mountain, and
Gimli
went to Mirkwood. Yep. And they went down and visited Aragorn in Gondor, and then they built a boat in Gondor and sailed west. Seeing Bilbo again, I was not expecting that the first time I saw this.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a lot of makeup.
That's good makeup too.
It is, yeah.
Ian Holm's great.
Oh, he is good.
Odd to have recently seen him digitally recreated in Alien Romulus.
Yeah,
they did a really good job, and they had the blessing of his family, but it was uncanny.
Yeah,
to say the least.
I do like the idea just of just like, oh, I lost the ring, and he's like, oh, well, that's too bad. Like, still, like Bilbo, it's almost implied they're like Bilbo never really truly knew what it was.
Even though I don't think he ever truly understood its true evil, and the greater effect it had the closer it got to Sauron.
Yeah. This is cool.
Yeah. One of the things that they had is that Frodo was constantly sick. After they returned to the Shire and freed the Shire from Saruman, he would get sick and he'd get better. He'd get sick and he'd get better. He was uncomfortable. He was in pain all the time.
Yeah,
and he just what the ring did to him, and the wound from Weathertop just destroyed him physically.
Yeah, he never really had peace until it's implied, we went west, and that's where he finally found peace. Right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because going there, it's the Undying Lands. There's
it's very spiritual.
There's an aspect of death to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the little person in the makeup there is it's really well proportioned to Hugo Weaving.
Yeah.
Cate Blanchett, just a little bit of I don't know, the smile she has there is just funny to me. Like it's a little bit mischievous.
Yeah. It is.
This moment.
Mm-hmm.
He does have his staff back.
Because, yeah, he built another one.
I always wished that they had, in my mind, I keep thinking Merry and Pippin are supposed to be a good head taller than Frodo and Sam.
At this point, yeah.
Yeah.
So Merry and Pippin, if I'm recalling correctly, Merry and Pippin weren't actually supposed to come at the end, but they did because Merry figured out what was happening. He knew that this was the last time they were going to see Frodo.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about this a few times also, that the movies don't show this as well, but Pippin specifically was a very smart hobbit. He was a very intelligent, clever hobbit. That's it was hard to pull things over on him.
Yeah. I kind of wish that they'd included that a little bit. Where instead of having them all look over in shock, you would kind of have them look over with knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it would have been more of a solemn understanding than a, what are you doing kind of a thing. It just, yeah. I think that at this point, Sam would have, and in the books, I think this is more accurate, that Sam understood. And Sam was a wiser, older hobbit at this point,
Yeah.
It would have been sad for sure, but the whole don't go was, I don't know, it just it seemed a little, I don't know, a little out of character, at least where I imagine this character would be at this point, and where I think it was in the book.
Maybe.
This is it's an earnest,
emotional.
Yeah, it's an earnest, somber tale, and I mean, again, I don't mind the emotion at all, but more of just that sad resignation versus, I don't know, maybe I'm totally splitting hairs here.
Yeah, I think you have to. I think that it's the appropriate reaction for the bond that they've built in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. It would seem weird if Sam all of a sudden, again, I'm in my head, I'm blending book Sam and movie Sam, which, as much as they're similar and the same basic character, there are some distinct differences.
Yeah. But the book there had a different title. It was written on the cover was The Downfall of the Lord of the Rings and the Return of the King. The Lord of the Rings is literally just, Sauron.
Yeah. Just the guy's name or his title.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I actually do. That's a good shot there. Just the kiss.
Yeah, because I mean, that's one of the things that it says in the freaking thing, And then Frodo kissed Merry and Pippin and the last of all Sam and went aboard.
Yep.
That's what it says, and they kept it there.
Yeah, I love it.
But there's some janky green screen work by today's standards in a couple of these scenes, but it's still such a beautiful shot.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
they get the lighting right. I do think that um, yeah, like some of the
the light wrap
background.
around Frodo's head right there is a little off, but
Yeah,
whatever.
it's still just sweet.
hmm Um. Oh, I missed it, but the scene back at the
Mm.
of Frodo writing in the Red Book
Yeah,
just before this scene was the final scene shot for the entire series.
I think I remember that. Yeah, it's a good
Yeah,
shot.
that was the filming wrap for Elijah Wood and everybody.
It's like, all right, you got to stand, you got to write in the book and then rub your shoulder.
hmm
I love too, how much, again, like the theme here, how much of a difference you can make. Howard Shore uses the same basic theme, but the timings and the instruments he's using for various themes, just like to kind of tweak it here and there, and just it's a very effective way to take it, but just add an extra layer to it.
Yeah,
That's a good
it's
shot.
just final scene of the boat. It's
Yep.
really good.
And I fully expected
Because it's a
credits here.
combination of matte paintings and yeah, I thought that this fade to white was going to be the credits, and I think that was actually the original intention. I think this scene of Sam walking back is probably something that was argued over. I bet there were a whole bunch of people going, "No, we don't need this scene." This scene is
Oh, I love this scene.
like this is an homage to Tolkien. This is
Yeah.
everything Tolkien wanted. The family and the nature and all that. Because that is Sean Astin's actual daughter. And
Mhm.
that is the actual son of that actress.
Well, and I
Um,
love that they have the little bit of, voiceover by, by Frodo here. I think it's great. It's just, I don't know. It's sweet. And like you said, it really is. This is Tolkien ended the book this way. I think that it's very fitting to end it the same way, just out of respect for him. And also because like you just said, this is, this is the bookend of, this is the reason why they did everything they did. This right here.
mhm. But also, it's the end of the book. Like, verbatim. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like the final paragraph of the entire book series is like, and Sam turned to Bywater and so came back up the hill as the day was once more ending. And he went on, there was a yellow light and a fire within, and the evening meal was ready as he was expected. Rosie drew him in and set him in his chair and put Eleanor upon his lap. He then drew in a deep breath and, well, I'm back, he said. And
Yeah.
that's the end of the book. That's the last lines.
I I love when films actually put the end at the end. It's kind of an old-fashioned thing these days to
Mhm.
actually throw up the words "the end." But there are times when I think
Yeah.
it's really appropriate, and this was definitely one of
And
those.
this is one of those times, partially because they just had to say after faking you out so many times, we needed to really let you know this was it.
Yeah, but I love the credit work here with
Mhm.
the actual Alan Lee paintings.
Yeah,
And
these sketches are so good. There's one of them that's already passed, but I always found that it was hilarious. It had some trolls pulling the towers,
no,
the siege towers, but there's an orc in front of him with a pole with a big hunk of meat in front of the troll's face.
yeah. So
Like they're getting the trolls.
we just went past him there, but a name that deserves so much credit for these films is Richard Taylor. The
Richard Taylor. I don't know a lot about him. Who's he?
well, so he was the one who basically
Wink, wink.
he ran the workshop. He was in charge of armory and supervising the bigatures and props and set dressing. He was basically in charge of making everything look as good as it did in a practical, physical way.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I mean, one of those. I mean, he's in so much of the behind the scenes stuff, but such a huge key figure in why this movie turned out as good as it did.
Yeah. Yeah, that was Richard Taylor, right?
Yeah, did I say James Taylor?
No, you said I just wanted to confirm.
Richard
because,
Taylor, yeah.
Yeah, in looking him up, some of the stuff that he's done is insane. Like, just looking at his current special effects repertoire, he's slowed down in recent years, but we're talking stuff like Thor Ragnarok, Blade Runner 2049, um, Warcraft, actually, that we covered last year.
Mm.
Furious 7, Amazing Spider-Man
Okay.
movies, the Hobbit movies, District 9,
Yeah.
which had really good special effects, the Narnia movies.
Yeah. He's been in. I mean, he's been in some very. I think that, I mean, because he's kind of Weta's. Who's the? Oh my gosh, I feel like such a Stan Winston. He's
Stan
kind of in my mind, almost a spiritual successor to Stan Winston.
So the song playing right now over the credits is the one that won the Oscar for Best Original Song.
Into the West.
And it's really good. It's well put together. It's well sung. I hate it.
Really?
I don't like the way that it's sung. This is not my music.
It's funny because it's.
I know. Terrible.
Well, I mean, it's fine. You might not have a heart, but that's okay. I'm kidding, man.
Whatever.
No, I actually, it's definitely not the kind of music I listen to. But this song, because I mean, it's so tied to, and like the credits that go through there.
Alan Lee and John Howe that it just listed.
Yeah.
They're the ones responsible for the entire look of these movies.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, the fact that they had been responsible for how people perceive Middle Earth for decades before, and then were brought on, it's great. But no, it's just, to me, it just is this song, these credits are, it's the credits for the entire trilogy. It's not just this film. It's just this whole experience of these films, and just what they mean and what they are, and just how special they are. I said this at the end of Fellowship, I think, but I just am so. If I ever had a chance to meet Peter Jackson, I don't care about The Hobbit and the things that you can criticize. I would just want to shake his hand and just say thank you, because these are. I mean, I can count on one hand the number of films that have the impact and mean as much to me as these films do. And that doesn't happen that's hard to do. And that means I never want to take that for granted as somebody who just loves film and loves epic tale. It combines everything that we like. It combines, just the storytelling, the characters, the world building, the themes, and then just the filmmaking on top of everything. That just to take this epic story and turn it into something that was this good is it's special. It just really is special. And I never want to, in any criticisms, whether they're legitimate or nitpicky, let those detract from just what these films are and how much they mean to me. And I think that, and there's so many people that feel the same way. And I like that these films, you have fandom that get weird, right? But these,
oh my God, do they get weird?
Yeah, these three films, just specifically these three films, there's this the unitedness behind them, a united fandom behind them that just loves them. And despite it to me, it's the closest thing I can think of is the original Star Wars trilogy, where there's this like a separation where you can have people that just they can say what they want about the Hobbit films, they can say what they want about the what's the Amazon series, the
Rings of Power.
Rings of Power. And the same thing with like Star Wars. You can have all the modern Disney Star Wars stuff and all that, but there's just like this united love, and nobody talks smack about the original trilogy. And this is a version like that, which I appreciate, and I'm grateful that for the most part the internet has not ruined it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. The closest thing I think in existence to the Lord of the Rings, in terms of kind of like how big it was, how beloved it still is.
Oh yeah.
To many, many people. And kind of you come to the end of the series and it has that same type of like satisfying ending where everything ties up in both happiness and tragedy is the Harry Potter series. And I know that Harry Potter won't have the same legacy of Lord of the Rings, and you could even say it doesn't deserve the same legacy as Lord of the Rings. But I genuinely think that Star Wars, Harry Potter, and the Lord of the Rings are in a class by themselves. Um, the only other one that I think came even close, but biffed it at the end, would be the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah, if Rise of the Dark Knight was better, it would have. But yeah, we'll talk about that when we get to it. But yeah, no, and it's the reason I stay quiet is just because I don't know enough about Harry Potter to have an opinion on it. I don't begrudge anybody who beloves those films and just puts in that same. I'm not qualified to comment on that one, so that's the only reason why I'm staying quiet. I don't disagree with it.
I am, and no, it's just the amount of work, love, passion, and like fan experience that goes into especially Harry Potter, which is why it's really difficult given that they've already announced that they're remaking Harry Potter so soon.
Yeah,
which I think that will actually be. I think it'll be good. I'm hoping it'll be good. The cast looks really solid. The people making it are really solid. They're not crapping on J.K. Rowling. She's actually a part of it, which is really good. Because she's the one who made those movies and stories great. And there's so much fan love and good storytelling that went into those first 8 movies. Even if they're not perfect, there's problems with them left and right for sure. But in terms of epicness and emotional involvement and payoff and climax, I think that those 3 series stand above any of the others.
Yeah, I can't think of another, because I mean I think that people these days, I think people would probably point to the Infinity Saga as being another one, but I think that there's a couple reasons why it doesn't quite qualify, which I don't want to get into because it'd be a long conversation. But I do think, as much as I love the Infinity Saga, I don't think it is in the same category as, I mean, definitely for me, I can say it's not the same category for me as the original Star Wars trilogy and the Lord of the Rings trilogy. And for Harry Potter, I will leave that up to you. But I'm guessing you would agree that the Infinity Saga is a little bit different case. I think. Are you still there, Zach? Well, if we lost Zach, I'm just going to go and wrap this up because I know we're about done. We're not going to watch the additional 15 minutes of credits, but love these movies. And we'll be back next week with another wonderful genre picture. Thank you so much for sticking with us. This is Brian with Doors and Corners. Have a good night, everybody.
There's doors and corners, kid. If you don't clear the room, if you don't come in slow, that room will eat you.